Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is part 82 of Miss Chastity's story, the lady that married a man that didn't exist according to her. If you are seeing this for the first time, it means you've not been following, so you need to go start from part 1. The link to the playlist will be in the description. Kindly go check it out. Let's continue.
Part 82 of How I Married a Man That Didn't Exist. When I found this out, I was sick to my stomach. I immediately sent this to my best friend. And I don't remember that conversation, but I was shaking from the inside out. I knew I had to confront Emily. I had to have answers. I got home that night, and once again I called her into my room, and I said, just like this, what do you know about Rob and the 16-year-old? And immediately she got defensive, and she said, that's not what happened. That girl was a friend of Jay's that was sleeping on their couch at that time because she had nowhere else to go. And that girl was trouble. We all told Jay that that girl was trouble.
It seems as if blaming the woman in a cheating situation is a worldwide pandemic. I used to think it's something that is, largely obtainable in my country. I didn't know it's also obtainable elsewhere. How would you tell me, oh, everybody wants Jay, that gets trouble? So the grown-up man, the 23-year-old man, is not the problem. It's a 16-year-old. Come off it, my friend.
She was just up to no good. And then she said, but that's not the way it happened. This girl had come on to Rob first. And then she stopped in the middle of her sentence. And she said, wait, how did you even find out about that? I told her how I found out. And then I said, but does that make it better? If what you're saying is true, if this girl came on to Rob, she's 16. Does the fact that it was consensual make it better? Does that make it tolerable? Does that make it easier to swallow? For a few reasons. The obvious issue of age, the secondary issue of infidelity, and the third issue of it happening in the home that they shared together with their children. There's many, many sides of this, all of which are wrong. I don't care who came on to who. In that moment, you back away, you say no. You go find someone else so that you are not alone with this person. That's what I would do in my mind. I felt so sick to my stomach. I felt so disgusted. And on the ride home that day, I was like, there's no way. There's no way she's going to be able to explain away this one. Let me insert here yet again. This is not a call to action series. It's a call to awareness, and I promise to tell this story in its fullest. Every part. This was not an easy part for me to get through. At this time, when this happened, no charges were filed. Nothing ever came out of it. And to my understanding, from every source I have gathered, it was a consensual interaction between the two. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it more tolerable. That doesn't make it easier to swallow. I'm just here to tell it the way that I lived it, and with the information that I had. This is all allegedly. I cannot prove nor disprove that this happened. Keep that in mind. Rob and I had been done for months at this point. We were almost a month out from the last big fight we had, the last communication we had. I was gearing up to move and I was excited about it, but I was sad. I was filled with so many emotions and my mental health was not where it needed to be. I was still struggling very, very much. And it was like at every turn, this new information was coming out. And I really started to realize the man that I married really didn't exist.
Okay, now I get the title, because somebody in my comment was saying you cannot marry somebody that does not exist, but it does make sense. If you've been following the story, it does make sense, because if we're going by what he presented to her, that person does not exist. So I get it.
No idea who that man is. And at this point, I had come to one conclusion. The only real thing this man ever told me, the only true thing this man ever told me, was his name, his mother's name, and his daughter's names. There had not been 1 ounce of truth in anything else. I stood on that beach, August 24th, 2024, and I vowed my life to a man I didn't know, that I thought I knew like the back of my hand. I knew what he wanted me to know. He had a mask on the entire time. All of this information that's coming afterwards, I had no idea. There's no telling how many people he cheated on me with. When we had our big fight, he told me that he had slept with 3 people during our relationship. And I don't know if that is true or whether he was trying to hurt me. Which brings me back to my point. He could have brought me home anything.
That is even the most scariest part, coupled with the fact that intercourse is spiritual. I know people that People don't like to think about it like that. But you are exchanging fluids, you are exchanging a lot of things with the other person. So, guys, I'm just imagining what must have been going through her head when she finally discovered that this man was not faithful while I was married to him, or even while I was dating him. I'm just imagining how she must have felt. And I'm beginning to understand why a lot of people begin to, blame themselves. Why did I allow this happen to me? I don't know if you guys get the point. But like, my heart breaks on her behalf. Now,
he put my life at risk when he stepped out of our marriage. And then came home to me and pretended like everything was okay before we had stopped being intimate. I was sold this story of him and Jay, the fairy tale they had, the love that they had that I would never measure up to. And now I knew that that wasn't real. At some point it may have been. But he had done to Jay what he has continued to do to every single person who comes across his path. This news of this relationship between him and this girl broke me and made me sick. Because truly, who the fuck did I marry? Who had I been sleeping beside?
it's actually very scary. Oh, guys. Going into a relationship with somebody these days, one needs to be very, very careful. One needs to be very, very careful. My heart goes out, sir, but I'm just so happy that she came out of it alive to tell the tale. Do you get? I'll see you guys in part 83. Don't forget to like.